Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice. Whether you like it or whether you hate it, you have to admit it has some impressive numbers coming out, breaking many records across the board. John was talking to me about just now. It is, I think it's the only movie to be certified rotten on Rotten Tomatoes, but make over 150 million on its first weekend domestically. You had some other numbers that I'm going to let you do because you know them better.
Yeah, North American box office was 170 million, which was amazing, and then especially for the way it was reviewed. And then it broke. Apparently, it is the highest-grossing film opening worldwide, superhero film opening worldwide, over 400 million. It's like 410 or something like that, which broke the record. It's just amazing. I mean, it's $500 million almost.
So that's the biggest Superman movie. That's the biggest Batman movie. That's the biggest superhero movie. Period.
Yeah.
Done.
Opening. Yeah.
And there has been, as you may have realized, a difference of opinion between critics and fans.
Yeah.
Critics are rating it, like we said, about 29%, 28% now on Rotten Tomatoes. That is subject to change. And I think the audience approval is at 75 right now.
Yeah.
Though, to be fair, that is also subject to change. Yeah. That does show a great disparity, though. And there are articles coming out, particularly one from Variety that we're going to talk about now, that call the success of the movie devastating to criticism, showing that movie critics don't matter. But I have to strongly disagree. I'm not a movie critic professionally, but I think this shows that not only is it important, that you're looking at it the wrong way.
Yeah. I'm very passionate about this particular thing, so I don't want to go off too much, but
go off.
Really? Okay.
Jump off the ledge.
I think it's ridiculous. Because I think film criticism is absolutely essential to our love of films. It is what a lot of us find our way into films is by reading film critics. I'm a product of Siskel, Ebert, and Roper. I'm a product of all the people that came before. A.O. Scott, Elvis Mitchell, those people taught me how to look at films. David Thompson, those people teach you how to look at films, analyze films, and I think it's important. We can't go back to debasing the idea of film to the point where it's like, yeah, it was great, I loved it. It's got to be more. Why? You explore it, and I think that's where film criticism is important. It helps us to analyze story, helps us to analyze pacing, and it's more than just a visual medium. There's more going on. There's a reason they don't give Oscars out for cool moments. They give Oscars out for do you know what I'm saying? They give Oscars out for screenwriting and
coolest moment goes to Michael Bay.
That's what the MTV Awards are for, and cinematography. There's a reason for that, But by the same token, I think there's space also for people to have genuine love for a film and explain and have discourse, and that's important. But the idea that criticism is dead is ridiculous, and I think that's just an article for clicks or for attention.
The very fact that people are quarreling, like we're seeing a lot of fighting between fans and bashing critics, or critics saying I don't care, the back and forth, or people accusing Marvel of paying off the critics, which is ridiculous.
Yes, beyond.
There's no way that happened.
No.
I think the very nature of the fact that there is a quarrel does prove that it does matter and it is important. One aspect of the article, though, in Variety was really interesting, and that goes back to what I just said, that it was devastating to critics that, quote, reviewers were forced to watch helplessly as the ticket sales racked up. Critics wanted to kill Batman v Superman.
So ridiculous.
No. They don't. Critics don't care if a movie sinks or flourishes. It's not like a vendetta or a childish kind of like, ooh, see, I was right, I told you, That's not something, that's not the point of criticism. It's more to analyze, to provide a voice. People have opinions. There's no rock solid singular point of view that is the only point of view. That's a ridiculous way of thinking. It's not. It should never be viewed as an echo chamber or anything like that.
Well, I feel this way also. If you can extend this out all the way to the political process and the political candidates, right? You can't just say he's cool or she's great. Well, why? Why? And you need to understand why, and you need to be able to speak it on multiple levels. And I think film is that way always. It affects us in certain ways, so we have to be able to analyze the film on multiple levels and be able to talk about it. And I think the anti-criticism reaction, to me, is almost as bad as what they're accusing the critics of doing, which is being like, critics are idiots. They don't know what they're talking about. That's not true. Their opinion is they didn't like the film, and this is why. They gave eloquent diatribes of why they don't like the film, and their job is to analyze the film and move on to the next one. That's what they're getting paid to do. They're not getting paid to bury films.
Yeah.
They just, and the Transformers movies are excellent proof of this. Like the last one made $1 billion, and everyone considers it the worst one of the 4.
It's nothing new, though.
Right.
This happens all the time, where there's something that'll go on to commercial success that was a critical failure.
Right.
It doesn't mean the critics have lost or won or what have you. That's just something that's there to aid people as they, decide whether they want to see this or whether maybe vocalize opinions or points of view more eloquently. For one. I don't think there's anything lost there. What drives me crazy sometimes is I have been critical of certain superhero movies.
Sure.
I haven't seen this one yet. I'm seeing it tonight.
I have.
Yeah, you have seen it a couple times. I couldn't find anyone who wanted to go with me, but I'm going to go tonight, God damn it, and it's going to happen. So I don't have an opinion on this movie yet.
Right.
I have heard bad things.
Yes.
I have heard fine things. I have heard good things, but I'm going to try to reserve that for myself later. Right. I don't hate this movie. I don't want it to fail. I don't want Batman and Superman to fail. I am a big fan of these characters. I love the DC animated universe. Like, it's my favorite one. And to be like, oh, you lost, suck it, it's just insane. And I don't think the role of the fan is to be a sycophant and to just say, oh, everything you do, I'll eat it up, num, 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 num. To be a fan is to hold it to a higher standard and to believe that something can be great or can be more, and to desire that and to know that potential is there and to be able to look at it in that way. That's what it is to me, at least.
No, and there are plenty of fans who are on the other side saying, we hated this film because we do love the property, we do love the characters, we wanted it to be better.
Have you ever met a Star Wars fan?
Yeah. Yes, right.
They're the prime example.
Yes, exactly. It's true. It's true. It's true. But and this is what's important. There has to be a middle ground. Like always, there has to be a middle ground. There's nothing wrong with critics hating it. It didn't affect you going, so you went and enjoyed it. What's wrong with that? And it still made money. It doesn't have to be a war. You voted with your dollars. Henry Cavill and Amy Adams, they all said we made the movie for the fans. But even they know that the backlash is causing problems, because James Wan came out and said how he wants to make Aquaman not lose the fun of it.
He did say fun about 80 times.
Yeah, he was really hammering that point home. and there's a reason for that, because they do, for whatever front they're putting on WB, they understand. They want their films to be revered. Yes, they make money, that's great, but they want them to be revered. X-Men Last Stand made all the money in the world. Nobody reveres that movie. And it's just that kind of thing. So you want something that lasts. And as much as they say they don't want the critics to care about it, they do. Everybody does. It helps. It's essential.
So everyone, be cool. That's the method here. No, I mean, there's a lot of things to think about, but I think what we should consider is that yes, there is a role for critics, and yes, there is a role for fans, and no, there isn't a war. The only ones fighting are Batman and Superman, and only for like 15 minutes from what I've heard. Let us know what you think below in the comments, and please like and subscribe for more